Hi everyone. Today is Friday, August 23rd, and I wanted to show you guys I finished page 2 of the epic Pokemon cross stitch pattern. So this is page 1 and 2, and a lot of characters have been added. Some I do recognize, some I don't, but I am starting page 3, and I am actually on this side today. So I'm very excited. I started page 2. I ended page 2 yesterday. Actually, no, Wednesday. And I went ahead and started on page 3 also on Wednesday. So I'm very excited for that. Um, I'm a little bit behind on my original schedule for this piece. I'm trying to have it done before Christmas, but the weather has gotten a lot cooler here, which allows me to cross stitch in this heat. I'm going to zoom you guys in. And we're actually just going to work on this side right here. So I'm excited that the heat is slowly dwindling down so that I can actually start working on my cross stitch again. What else can I tell you guys? Today I got to work from home. So this morning I went to the gym and then finished the rest of my day. Then my husband and I went swimming. We had the whole pool to ourselves here at our complex, which was nice. We grabbed dinner and now we're just enjoying the light breeze that's going on outside and enjoying ourselves here at home. But I'm so glad to have finished page 2. The last time I touched page 2 based off of my Instagram posts that I had to go back and check when was the last time I had touched it, was in April. So it's been 4 months since I touched this piece, and I'm glad to have picked it up again. So I believe I can get most of this done still before Christmas. That's still the goal, and I think I can still do it now that it's getting cooler. Um, my hands get a little bit sweaty in the summertime with working with any type of fiber art, so I had to take a break. I was actually watching um, Pretty Seven Stitcher, and she was saying that she doesn't cross stitch in the summer either, because it gets hot. And she lives out in Oregon where it rains most of the year, but she said because it gets really hot, she'd rather be doing another type of project in the summertime that's not cross stitch. She'll still work on smalls, based on her vlogs and all that. She does travel for work, so she'll do smalls while she's traveling, but when she's at home, she'd rather work on something else. Recently, her vlog that I saw was that she participated in Tour de Fleece. And if you guys don't know what that is, it's basically when you buy large bundles of wool that haven't been spun into yarn. So she has a whole bunch of that. I think it's called batting, and she spins it. She actually has an electric spinner, which is pretty cool. And that's what she does instead in the summer instead of cross stitching. And she has a point to it. A lot of people claim that they lose like their stitchy bug or something like that in the summer, but it could just be because of the weather. It's just too hot to work on any project that has fiber art involved, which I think that's true to some extent. I did finish my book, the wedding manual, the Jane Austen wedding manual. It was a really good book. I ended up finishing it that same week. So the whole book basically spoke about how this woman named Catherine, who happens to be a contracted writer for a beauty magazine, ended up turning 40, loses her job in 2008 during our economic hard times that the country had, and she's forced to seek employment somewhere else. Well, in in the process of trying to find employment, she actually gets contracted through the beauty company that she worked for to write a story about someone like her who is in their 40s, who hasn't been married, doesn't have any children, is able to find a husband who's rich. And her job is to do research and actually get to the point where she might end up getting married. Her friends, in order to help her land a quote unquote rich husband, actually end up purchasing a small plot of land, which is, I think it was like a foot, 1 by 1 foot piece of land in Scotland, and buy her a title. So instead of being just regular Catherine, she becomes Lady Catherine. And the snowball effect turns into she meets rich people, and she eventually meets a guy that she doesn't really care for, so she falls in love with the other rich guy, and at the end of the story, it comes out to be that the guy she didn't like or couldn't stand, she ends up being with. And lo and behold, he ends up being rich as well. And at the end of her research and writing the article, she does end up fulfilling the requirement of the article, which is a woman in her 40s finding a rich guy to marry. So it was a good story. I wouldn't say it's young adult. It's just a fiction. It's a quick read. So that one was a good one. I'm reading a new book called 16 Candles. And it's not the book. I mean, it's not like the movie. This one's a totally different story. This one's about a girl and her, I believe she has 4 sisters and a mom, and her dad recently passed away. So she turned 16. Her one wish ends up having like a ripple effect on her family. So far, not too bad. I'm only, I believe, on chapter 4. So as I get further and further into the book, I'll let you guys know how it is. Right now in this whole cross-stitch piece section, it's mostly black. Originally in the pattern, it's supposed to be this blue color, but there's a lot of Pokemon characters that have blue, so I figured having a black background will let all the characters pop more and not have them blend in so much into the background. So that color blue has been substituted for black, and that's why you'll see like this whole, actually from here, all this is all black. What else can I tell you guys? It's been a good week so far. The week went by pretty fast. We had cooler weather at the beginning of the week, and then it just got hotter. Today was pretty hot. Yesterday was hot. I think it reached about 100 today. I think yesterday as well. So we've been trying to cool down. Later at night it gets a lot cooler. Oh, last night we watched preseason football. I'm a Raiders fan, so we played the Green Bay Packers preseason. We won by 1 point. It was a really good game. I did stop watching it at halftime. We ended up having dinner, and we ended up just watching something on Netflix. We've been watching a show called The Wu Assassin. So it's W-U Assassin, and it's pretty good. We started it. Oops. Excuse me. Dropped you guys. No, today. We started the show, I think, 2 nights ago. And now we're on the 8th episode. So it's a really good show. It has its slow moments. It kind of drags a little bit on some parts, but then it gets really good. It has a lot of action scenes and a lot of throat slitting scenes. So if you're not someone that really likes blood in that sense, there's no torturing scenes. It's just I won't want to make it seem like the show's that bad, but the fighting style is more of like karate meets Mortal Kombat. If you ever played the game, it kind of has that feel. Or Avatar, and the funny thing is the guy that's the assassin was picked to be an assassin, but he just says he wants to be a chef, and it's out of as he's a San Franciscan chef, so it has its funny moments. But so far so good. We've really enjoyed it. Um, this week we've actually watched several Disney movies as well. My husband hasn't seen a lot of Disney movies, so we're slowly watching them. We've watched Snow White, Pocahontas, Mulan. I think that's it so far. Yeah, I think that's it so far. And so far he hasn't had any complaints on which one he doesn't like. We're going to try to get through as many movies as we can at a normal pace. We're not going to like binge watch a whole weekend worth of movies. Um, we're planning on going to Disneyland this year. And we've been there several times, but it'll be fun when having watched the movies and then meeting the characters and then going on the rides. Like, not all the characters have rides at the parks, but most of them do. Like, Cinderella doesn't have a park, but, I mean, it doesn't have a ride, but Snow White has a ride. So, a lot of the rides are based off the movie, so it'd be fun to do that again. And especially during late on in the year, they decorate for Halloween, then they have regular days, and then they decorate for Christmas. So we haven't decided yet which months we want to go and for which holiday themed we want to go to. But either way, it'll be fun. I'm a big Disney fan, if you guys know that. I did take a project to work. Oh, I skipped one, didn't I? I did. I'll go back. So this week, actually on Thursday, I took my Finding Dory small piece to work, and I only added like 6 stitches to it. I'm gonna try to have a piece that I can work on lunch at work. Um, the good thing about that is that I work on the 7th floor, and there's 2 floors for our company, and on the 6th floor there's an area where no one ever goes, so I can sit there and cross stitch during lunch. I do only have a 30-minute lunch, but you can get a lot done on a smaller piece. And this is a kit that I had purchased from Hobby Lobby, and I don't think they have it anymore. It was on its clearance section when I bought it, and I bought it for, I think, $3 and change, like about $4 altogether. So since the kit has the needle, the threads, and the pre-cut Ada, I don't have to worry about anything else or taking extra stuff for me to work. Just put it all together in the bag that it came in. I'm probably going to stitch that in hand, which I did on Thursday, because it's just a small piece. I don't need to take a hoop with me. Plus my 2 small hoops are being used right now. The small one right now is being used on this piece, and the other one on my Cinderella one. So I don't want to take off the hoop and use it for that. I could just buy another one, but no, I'm okay for these 2 for right now. Plus, every time I go to Hobby Lobby, for some reason, the spring hoops, that's what I work with, they seem to always be sold out. So I think they're a very popular item within the cross stitching community, at least in my area. So when I do find them, I do pick one up. I have 2 large ones and 2 little ones. I think I'm okay for right now. So I'm going to end this one right here, and actually I'm going to put it through. So here's my back. I know a lot of people really don't like to show their backs because they're a mess, but I would have to say this is one of my cleaner backs. And after, I can get this out of here. There we go. After watching several YouTubers or FlossTubers, I can say like my back is pretty good. Like, look at that. It's not that crazy compared to this. You can kind of see some of the characters on the back that match the front. So that's what I'm leaving with you guys tonight. I hope you guys have a great weekend, a great start of the weekend, had a great Friday, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Thanks.